Hello, lovely people. It's time to change stuff again, but this time I'm gonna have this one. So the plan for today, and probably for the next upcoming week, what I want to see is I want to see if I can hear a difference between my Alpines and this amplifier, which is the Down4Sound EZY PWR 810. It's a 10-channel amplifier. If you haven't seen it, watch the few previous videos where I tested this amplifier. I did an unboxing and I did the distortion measurements. And since it's performed quite well, I'm gonna put it in here. So today I'm gonna remove these two Alpines because it's very easy. RCA is gonna be the same, just the power and the speaker wires. I'm gonna put this one on top of there, and I'm gonna run it from the Helix DSP for now, because if I'm gonna change the DSP, then I have to change the tune, and then it's gonna be more variables that changed. So first thing, I'm just gonna change just the amplification, and I'm gonna keep exactly the same tune, exactly the same DSP. So just the amplifiers are gonna change, and then I'm gonna change the DSP as well, because I will be testing the Down4Sound DSP and I will be tuning with it. So yeah, now I'm gonna pull these out and put this one in. Now, this is the main benefit of having such a customizable install like mine, because unscrew the wires, take everything out, and you can replace it. How many of you can say that you can replace a 6 channels of amplification in an hour or so? Not many. So I'm going to leave the RCAs for now as they are, because I will be making custom ones for the EZY DSP, and I just need to fix it. And the only thing, I need to extend that wire because it's a bit too short, and run the power wire and signal and speaker level out into those distributions. And that's it. Pretty simple install, but I did expect that it's going to be a bit bigger, so I could technically, if I'm going to push it like that, I could technically fit the DSP in there and have extremely short runs, but not sure. I think I would like if the DSP is gonna be up there, just like a staple piece. Oh yeah, now making some connections. So power is installed. I try to reuse as many wires as I can, not to chop them off, because I don't like chopping off wires. I had to take a longer wire for the subwoofer because it went all the way through there. The power wires, I'm running 2 4-gauge each. It's gonna be plenty enough because I'm not gonna be pushing it too much. Later on, if I'm gonna like this amplifier, then I'm gonna put, I don't know, 0-gauge or whatever I can fit in there. But for now, it's gonna be fine like that. Now, a little bit of criticism for Down4Sound as well. So this amplifier is being fixed with these things, yeah? How am I supposed to reach those that are in there? Let me try to put the camera a bit lower. See that screw in the middle? Yeah, how am I supposed to reach it? It's impossible. So I do understand that like these back plates are kind of standard, but like even these, so this one, I had to angle it because I cannot reach it. You cannot go straight. From this side, it's even worse, like at this angle. So how are you supposed to put the screws in? Make a hole right there, so it would be perfect. And in the middle one, there's pointless to have a hole in the middle. Like, yes, there's a hole here in the middle, so you can use that one. But even this one, you have to kind of angle it because you cannot have it straight. Otherwise, it's like this. So it's like, what the hell? Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is with these RCA pigtails. Nothing wrong with them. However, we have channel 1, 2. Fine. Which is which? Which is channel 1, which is channel 2? How am I supposed to know the colors? Is the red one left, black right, or the opposite? I have absolutely no idea. So yeah, these little things, because obviously everything cannot be perfect. There has to be something. But yeah, this side is done. So now I'm gonna connect the RCAs. I have these Y-split RCAs that I made quite a while ago. So I'm going to use these for bridge channels. So one channel from the DSP into 2 RCAs into the amplifier. So this is going to be for the subwoofer and for the front subwoofer. But yeah, just a few more wires left to run. There we go. Speakers connected, RCAs not yet, and everything is just temporary. So in regards to the connections, if you remember from the test that I did found out that the cleanest channels are channel 3 and 8. So I would like to use them for the tweeters. Then the second cleanest is 7 and 5, and the most dirty is 4 and 6. So I need something for the front subwoofer, so I took 5 and 6 because they're very close together, because otherwise if I take 4 and 3, then I'm losing the cleanest one. So 5 and 6 is going to be for the subwoofer bridged, which is this one. And I'm gonna have 5 and 6, one of these into the split already going, so it's fine. And then I connected everything, so now I need to figure out which is left, which is right, because as I mentioned, with those RCAs, I have no idea. So I know that on my DSP, I have AB for tweeters, CD for mid-ranges, and EF for the mid-bass. So I'm gonna take A and B, and I'm gonna plug it into 3 or 8 and see which one is playing, because I have no idea how otherwise find out which channel is which. But this is pretty much it. So RCAs are going to be long. As I mentioned, everything is temporary. So now we're just going to turn on. It's going to be a moment of truth. Is it going to be playing or not? Everything should be fine. But yeah, after the RCA is connected and everything, I'll need to check with the RTA the polarity of stuff, because I might mix some stuff somewhere with the speaker wires. There might be one speaker out of phase or something, so just double check that and make sure that everything is playing as it should. And after that is gonna be a few days break, because tomorrow I'm going to work, and from tomorrow I will be actually listening and testing. Oh, so before that I need to make sure that everything is level matched as it was to the previous house curve, just to make sure that everything's playing exactly the same as with the Alpine amplifiers. Another little thing that I want to share, you know how everybody's scared of the big bad spark, and people using resistors, people using light bulbs and that kind of stuff. I have a spare LED bulb from the headlights, so this is exactly what I do. I just take this like that, and nothing. So yeah, the caps are still charged from when I was testing it, so it's fine. No spark. Yay, I can connect everything. Okay, I was trying to plug in stuff, so the subwoofers are working, one of the mid-bass is working, but I just sat in the car and I don't know if you can hear that, but hiss. Yes, this amplifier is hissing, and this is gonna be a massive deal breaker. Yeah, I am a bit disappointed, but the no RCAs are connected to the amplifier. It's just the speakers are connected to the outputs of the amplifier, and no signal at all. So it is a hiss that's coming from the amplifier. Yeah, that's not good. So I did check the RTA now with the previous tune. Excuse me for the glare, it's always in the evening like that. So we have exactly the same thing all over the place. So the bass is slightly different because I can adjust the tone control with the conductor, so it's fine, it's not a problem at all. But the main thing is that everything is fine. The only thing, I was checking the channels and I had to pull the left mid-range like half a dB down just to push the center. So the channels are not exactly the same as I had with the Alpine, so that needs adjustment. But anyway, I will have to retune everything anyway. But now the biggest thing is this hiss. So okay, so now everything is off, so you cannot hear anything. Everything is quiet. If I'm gonna, because the amplifiers are going to sleep after some while. So now they're on. Yeah, I don't know how much is audible through the camera. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the phone next to the tweeters and I'm gonna shut off the DSP very quickly. So listen. Yeah, so to me, from the driver's seat, it is audible. Now, what are we gonna do with this? To be honest, I really don't know, because the amplifier, it's power-wise is very good. THD-wise, it seems good. I listened just for a few minutes. I will listen for a longer time, and I'm gonna day two in a few days or so, and then I'm gonna probably finish the video. So I'm gonna cut it now, and I'm gonna jump into this same spot in a couple of days. Okay guys, 2 days into the future. Just came back home from a drive, so it took me like close to half an hour. See, I finished work at 6. And I would like to share my kind of first impressions, what I heard over these few days. Because I would never imagine myself saying that, but amplifiers do sound different. Apparently, there you go. So the difference between my Alpine amplifiers and this one. First of all, the level. So with the level, oh, now it's music playing. Let me stop. I'm missing some volume, just a little bit of volume. So whenever I go all the way up, I still want a little bit more, because the Alpines, it is dirty. The Alpine sensitivity is 4 volts and this sensitivity is 6 volts. So it is missing a little bit of level, and the only way to get that level back is to increase the gains, because this head unit is connected optical into the DSP, so I cannot give more level on the RCAs into the amplifier from DSP. The only way is to increase the gains. Now the problem is that if I'm going to increase the gains, the hiss is going to be even louder than it is now. Now, I did spoke with Down4Sound about this issue with the noise, and advice was just to check the fans and disconnect the fans and see if that helps. I'm going to try that as well. But what I loved about Down4Sound is that the first thing when I said, like, okay, we might have a problem, it is a slight hiss. The first thing he said, show me where the hiss is coming from, I'm gonna fix it in the next batch. So when a company reacts like that, you know that's gonna make a good product in the future. So in regards to the level of the hiss, it is noticeable, but I've heard much worse. Even in Emma competition cars, I heard much more hiss than this. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I want to give it maybe a 3. So probably for most people, it's not going to be even noticeable. But since I'm used to my system, since I know that there is literally zero sound coming with the Alpine amps, I did notice it straight away. But probably for a lot of people, it's not going to be that big of an issue. Now, in regards to how it sounds, the thing that I noticed, and it's going to be a bit of a long story. Since I was close to teenager, I love System of Down. In my library, I have loads of songs, and one of my favorites of all time almost is System of Down. I love these albums. I know them inside out because I listened to them through everything that I've ever had. I started listening on them on Sennheiser in earphones. It was like CX300 or something. They're very old, quite bassy, but the problems that I always had with System of Down is that the very top end sounded a bit mushy, because there's, in a way, that there's a lot of instruments, especially like electric guitar, cymbals and everything, and in the higher frequencies it's kind of a mashed potato with the lower resolution stuff that reproduces the sound. Exactly the same was with the earphones. Then years later, I bought much better Sennheiser earphones that cost like £300 here in the UK. And then I realized how good these recordings are at the very top end when you have the separation of everything. Now, I had the same with the Alpines. Everything is separated, everything is nice, it's loud, it's ear piercing, but you can differentiate every single instrument. Now, with this amplifier, I noticed straight away that the top end is mushed, is not as detailed. Spectral balance is fine, but everything in the very top kind of gets mushed together. And another thing that I noticed straight away is sibilance. So sibilance, if somebody doesn't know, is the pronunciation of the letter S, and it is lives in about like 6, 7, 8 kilohertz tone. Now with RTA, I know that it measures the same, but I have sibilance in the system now. I never had sibilance with any of my previous amplifiers, especially the Alpines, and now it is there. So it gives that a little bit like on the edge, that harshness. Similar harshness that I got with One Audio mids instead of these. And if you remember, I said that these sound a bit mellow. Now with this amplifier, everything got a little bit harsher, I want to say, but it's not distortion. It's just the profile of the sound. And I did notice similar thing with the mid bass as well. So all the mid bass frequencies are a bit sharper and not as lush, or like, I don't know, these all the audiophilic terms, I hate them, but I don't know how to describe it any other way. There's no distortion, but it just sounds different. Even the sub bass is not as, I don't want to say smooth, but like it was similar when James came to me and he had in the front, he had a ported front subwoofer. And I tried to explain to him how I perceived his front subwoofer, that it sounded a bit, and I gave him an example, a stupid example, a sound as a triangle. And my system sounded as a round circle. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's just different. And I hear exactly the same now. So now the plan is with this amplifier. I'm not saying that it sounds bad. No, not at all. It's just, it's different. I was pounding on it all the way to home. It was like half an hour and it's barely warm. So I'm gonna disconnect the fans, see if that helps at all with the hissing. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a tweeter and I'm gonna connect it. I'm gonna plug out RCAs and I'm gonna connect to every channel just to check if all the channels have the same hiss. And if it does, it does. You cannot avoid it. But it's very early to say if I'm gonna keep this amplifier because I still need to do a proper tune, because the levels might be a little bit off. It shouldn't be because RTA shows everything fine, but I don't know, everything is possible. That like half a dB difference, it's not gonna cause that thing. The imaging is fine. Everything, instruments are where they're supposed to be, left, right, center, everything like it was, exactly like it was. So that didn't change, but what changed, and it's not tonality as well. Tonality wise is the same because the linearity of the RTA is the same. It's just the character of the sound is different. So yeah, I'm kind of changing my mind about the saying that all amplifiers sounds the same. I guess all amplifiers under a certain spec range, like THD and signal to noise ratio, they might sound the same, but this definitely sounds a little bit different. So I just wanted to update you because now I'm gonna be installing the DSP in the very back. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna plan it to do this, because I bought RCAs. I bought these connectors separate, and what I'm gonna do, instead of these pigtails, I'm just gonna make custom RCAs, which are gonna go from this directly to a normal RCA. And I'm not sure, I haven't decided if I put the DSP in there and run the wires like that, or I'm gonna shift it to the side and put the DSP in there. But now I'm just gonna install the DSP, and then I'm gonna give you another update. And we're gonna tune it, and after proper tune with a different DSP, I will see if it sounds as I perceive it now, or it was just all in my head. Now, all of this that I'm saying, take it with a bit of a grain of salt, because it's not a blind A-B instant switch comparison. It's over a few days, but I felt that I'm kind of familiar with my old system, so I know kind of how it sounds because I'm used to that. And this sounds definitely different. I'm about 80% sure that it sounds different. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Stay tuned for some other updates, and thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.